Happy supermoon in Aquarius. This super full moon at approximately 27 degrees of Aquarius became exact yesterday on Monday, August 19, 2024 at 2:26 p.m. New York time, which was 1826 Greenwich Mean Time. As a reminder, a super full moon, or supermoon for short, occurs when the moon is physically closer to the Earth than usual, thus amplifying its effects. Aquarius is a fixed air sign that is associated with equality, group consciousness, technology, and the higher mind. It is represented symbolically by the water bearer, a healer that pours healing waters onto the land to reach everyone and everything. It is an optimistic sign that reminds us of our highest potential, especially in groups and as one collective human race. We are reminded that even when it seems like we are all alone, we really aren't, because we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are inseparable from the collective consciousness of our human race on this planet. Aquarius is the ruler of the 11th house in astrology, the house of friends. This house rules over how we relate to groups and includes the themes of friendship, collective mindsets, social circles, and colleagues. With the sun in its home sign of Leo, the masculine fixed fire sign of Leo causes us to want to naturally step into our most charismatic, beautiful, and talented selves, the best version of the ego self that we can present to the world. With Mars and Jupiter still conjunct in chatty Gemini, we are feeling the call to get out there, express ourselves, and meet new people. However, with this conjunction, we can feel overextended or discombobulated if we are not careful, if we're focusing on or trying to get too many things done at once. The opposition between the sun and the moon creates the opportunity to explore the balance between self and other, as well as between self and the group. Leo the lion personifies the need of the self to express through the creation of an ego. Ego is, at its core, not a bad thing. Rather, it is the vehicle for which the soul gets to experience an earthly personality. That energy is opposed by the moon in Aquarius, which is showing us how we can experience being a part of a group and a collective. This full moon gives us the opportunity to find our true soul tribe, especially with Mars and Jupiter conjunct in chatty, networking-oriented Gemini. For many of us, our family of origin is our family of origin, but those that feel most like our soul tribe are friends and loved ones that we meet later in life. The energy of this full moon supports those true soul tribe souls in finding one another here in the 3D over the next 28 days. While Mars and Jupiter are still together in Gemini over the next few weeks, it's a great time to put yourself out there in all ways to meet others, both in person and online. The retrograde Mercury is super amplified on this full moon as it conjuncts the sun in Leo and opposes the moon in Aquarius. Now and over the next 2 weeks, while Mercury is either retrograde or in its post-retrograde shadow, it's perhaps the best time of the year to reconvene and reconnect with friends, family, and acquaintances from our past, and to have both fun and honest conversations. Although this full moon is presenting a difficult energy for long-term romantic and family relationships, and more on this in a bit, it is also offering a wonderful opportunity to work things out and to experience resolution with people from our past. So don't be shy about reaching out over the next 2 weeks, especially to those connections from your past that you'd like to reconnect with. The Aquarian energies require teamwork to really thrive. We are all individuals on individual healing journeys, but we are also one collective on a collective ascension journey. It is not possible to separate yourself from the whole. How are you contributing to the healing of the planet and of the human race on a daily basis? The more you are contributing, then naturally the more whole you are going to feel, because you'll be fulfilling the exact mission you came here to realize. Do you make time on a daily basis to do something nice for someone else or to say something nice to a fellow human? Do you make it a habit to wish people around you blessings of healing or happiness? Are you a good listener? Are you willing to hear others' perspectives? Do you donate money or time to help those in need at least once in a while? Unlike Leo, where the inflated ego is celebrated, Aquarius encourages the deflation of egos so that the many can merge into the one. This is the energetic trajectory of our planet as we are in the planetary age of Aquarius. This full moon comes with a pair of troublesome T-squares, making it the most volatile full moon in recent memory. We have a nearly exact T-square between the moon in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, and a conjunction between the sun and the retrograde Mercury in Leo. So on one side, it's the moon. On the bottom, it's Uranus. And on the other side of the chart, it's Mercury and the sun. This is a Uranus-heavy T-square, as Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is the planet of freedom and revolution. There is an extreme revolutionary and freedom-seeking energy to this full moon. We are feeling tense and feeling as if we must break free in order to find resolution to this tension. We can expect the unexpected on the world stage over the next 28 days, and especially over the next 2 weeks. It is a violent and volatile energy. If I had to guess, I would anticipate the powder keg that is the Middle East right now exploding with some sort of new major offensive sometime over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's also possible that we see some sort of new offensive unfold somewhere other than the Middle East over the next few weeks. With Uranus being so active in this nasty T-square, we should expect the unexpected. Accidents and unexpected uncomfortable news could arise. It's a Tower card energy if you know the tarot. Hope for the best, but don't be surprised if stuff comes up. In our personal lives, we need to be asking ourselves where and how we feel stuck. It's okay, it's natural really, to get frustrated around this time about where and how we feel stuck. However, the higher intention of T-squares is really to force change through tension. So the stuckness is meant to recraft and redirect us. Allow the tension of this full moon to motivate you to step into that next stage of your journey, whatever that may be. Here are some important questions to meditate or journal on around this super full moon. And I'd encourage you to pause the podcast in between each question and take some notes or write out some sentences in response. And also, if you're listening on the Higher Self channel, for your convenience, go to the pinned comment. That's where all the information is. The pinned comment below the description box, and you'll see all my links, including the link to the article version of this podcast, where you can see all of the journaling questions written out. What is that one big obstacle that seems to continually be an issue for me that if I was able to bust through it, it would make all the difference in my life? What is that one thing that I've been avoiding doing due to fear that if I did, it would make a huge difference in helping me to bust through this obstacle? Which obligation or relationships in my life are keeping me stuck? Which ones am I ready to let go of now? If I had to guess, what virtues are my soul trying to get me to learn through the experience of me being stuck in these ways? If I had to guess, who is my soul trying to craft me into through the experience of these difficulties? What are 3 action steps I can take over the next few weeks that will help me move forward into becoming the person my soul is trying to get me to be? Difficulties in relationships. The other brutal T-square in this chart is between the retrograde Saturn on one side in Pisces, the Mars-Jupiter conjunction in Gemini on the bottom, and Venus in Virgo on the other side. This particular T-square is causing extreme tension in relationships, especially romantic ones. For those in romantic relationships, this can serve as a make-or-break type energy. The retrograde Saturn is going to inject negative karma that still needs to be resolved into the experience of the relationship. Expect an abundance of arguments to occur in those romantic relationships that are already on shaky grounds over the next few weeks. If the two parties are not able to adequately and maturely work through whatever karmic themes come up around this time, it could spell doom for the relationship. But ultimately, if this occurred, of course, if there's a breakup, it would be an execution of something already pre-written into the soul contract. With Venus opposing Saturn, those that are in romantic relationships will also be seeking stability and commitment. For those relationships that are meant to strengthen through this treacherous astrological period and through the difficult eclipse season that ensues in September, A more committed energy will emerge through the relationship thanks to the Saturn-Venus opposition. With Mars and Jupiter conjunct in non-committal Gemini forming the crux of this T-square, this is also a potential cheating energy. Cheating or revelations of cheating could come up in some relationships sometime over the next few weeks. For some relationships, this Gemini cheating energy could serve as the catalyst for either the relationship to reach the breakup stage of the soul contract or for the relationship to enter into a healing stage through revelations of truth. The concept of the soul contract is key at this time. Just as every major event in our life is pre-planned by the soul, as are all of our major relationships. Some soul contracts have more variance than others, but for the most part, when a relationship has been pre-planned by the souls involved to reach its conclusion, it will, no matter what. Every soul contract is unique and every relationship is unique. For those of you that are in a relationship that has a solid foundation to it, the good news is that this rocky astrological time will ultimately serve to strengthen those foundations. Family relationships will also be subject to these difficult energies. You may find particular difficulties arising in those family relationships that have caused you the most consternation over the years. Pretty much all family relationships have karmic roots, meaning the souls knew each other, playing family roles with one another in other lifetimes. Whatever the main themes of the relationships that played out in other lifetimes were, they will carry over into this life. In some family and romantic relationships, there may be a tendency to feel smothered by the other person, whether from their demands or their anxiety. This is a product of Saturn's heavy influence in this T-square, as its opposition, it could be said, is to be attempting to cover Venus's normally light and free energy. Whatever tends to upset you about the other person in any sort of relationship is likely to come up repeatedly over the next few weeks. If someone is constantly bothering you in a similar way, sometimes the lesson is in standing up for yourself, while other times the lesson is in being more tolerant. The Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus T-square is also potentially precarious for finances. Financial losses are possible with this energy. It's important to avoid allowing yourself to be scammed and avoid making risky investments that could fall flat. Stepping into your divine service work. The retrograde Chiron in assertive Aries is sextiling the moon and trining the Sun-Mercury retrograde conjunction on this full moon. Chiron represents the part of self that contains the potential to actualize as the healer or teacher in divine service on this planet. Ultimately, for us light workers that are healing this, that are ready for this call, and I think about the Judgment card in the tarot, heeding the call, the 10 T-squares are designed to push us deeper than ever before into embodying our divine service work, illustrated by the benevolent Chiron aspects. The sextile between the exalted retrograde Neptune in the final degree of its home sign of Pisces and the exalted retrograde Pluto in the first degree of Aquarius is setting the stage for spiritual awakenings to occur en masse around this time. For those light workers that are ready to download healing and psychic skills and techniques, this energy is very supportive of that happening now and over the next few weeks. The Aquarian energies are intended to really bring us into communion with our service work. Service work, as I would define it, is a broad term that covers all the positive work you're meant to do on this planet, all the people, animals, and environments you're meant to help, and the positive legacy that you are meant to leave behind when someday you graduate from this realm. It is your unique physical and vibratory contribution to the healing and ascension of the collective consciousness of humanity. It can be helpful to define your service work in a single sentence. For me, my service work is to assist in the freeing and ascension of humanity by working directly here on the ground with light workers from all around the world at all stages of their journey to help them heal their wounds, understand their purpose and plan, learn spiritual tools and skills, and to create their highest destiny and step into their divinely guided service work. How would you define your service work? And I'd love for you to do some journaling on the following questions. This is really important around this time. Who or what do I feel most called to help? For example, alcoholics, the elderly, children, animals, nature. Fill in the blank with this one. I feel most fulfilled when I blank. What activities, what parts of your life leave you feeling most fulfilled? Leave your cup feeling most full. Which skills or talents do people most often ask for me to help them with? What do I feel like my mission is here on Earth? If you had to guess. Why do I feel like I came to this planet? If I had no fear, how would I choose to earn my living? Or how would I choose to live, as it doesn't have to be a career or a job? What type of legacy do I want to leave behind? What is the one thing that I have to help heal or improve for other people, animals, plants, nature, the planet, or society before I leave this planet? Go ahead and write down your service mission and keep it somewhere special. When you step more fully into your service work, you will naturally begin to unravel any of the shadow aspects of Aquarius, like self-sabotage, which we will discuss later in this podcast. Envisioning a better world for all. Let's talk about harnessing this powerful Aquarian energy to precipitate changes on the collective level. With Uranus, the planet of freedom and revolution, being front and center in this full moon chart in several ways, as the ruler of Aquarius, as the crux of the nearly exact T-square, and also as a part of the minor grand trine with the retrograde Neptune and retrograde Pluto, we are strongly feeling the desire to create a better world for all. Aquarius is forward-thinking, progressive, and demands equality. The vast income disparity between the haves and the have-nots on our planet is just something that we will not be able to have last too much longer during the planetary age of Aquarius. The Aquarian pressure, energetically speaking, will simply become too great, and change will have to occur in one way or another. This differs dramatically from the dualistic all-or-nothing shadow energy of the age of Pisces, which we are beginning to graduate from. It might look like a pretty impossible task to shift this planet from its current economic system to something that will be able to support the proper nutrition, medical care, and spiritual health of all human beings. But this is not something that's obviously meant to happen overnight. It's going to take time. Although Pluto being in Aquarius does represent the runway up to the age of Aquarius, so to speak, the true planetary age of Aquarius, when the rising sun aligns with the boundaries of the constellation of Aquarius in the on the northern hemisphere vernal equinox, that begins around 2043. So we're close, but still a bit away. So we shouldn't expect this transition into the age of Aquarius to happen overnight. In fact, things might overall look worse before they start looking better, and they kind of have been. During and following this Aquarian full moon, us conscious light workers, as well as many in the general public, will be feeling a palpable sense of wanting to move forward as a collective into something new and better. We need to have patience and faith while doing what we can to shift the collective consciousness. For most of us, the most effective possible thing we can do to help shift the collective consciousness is to shift the consciousness within our own vessels. You do not have enough power to shift the entire collective consciousness and the trajectory of the planet with your will, but you do have the power to shift the entirety of your individual consciousness with your willpower. One of the laws of the universe is that whatever you have the power to affect is whatever you are meant to have the power to affect. When you try to shift something that you don't have the power to shift, you end up feeling disempowered and victimized, which puts you right back down into that lower vibration where the powers that be don't mind you being. When you take control of what you can control and nothing more, you move into that high vibration of empowerment and self-responsibility, which, by the way, also alleviates self-sabotage, which I will discuss at length in the next section, and you become an energetic broadcaster for that high vibration. Like the 100th monkey syndrome, that vibration of empowerment spreads like wildfire and begins to have an exponentially larger impact on the collective consciousness itself. As the collective consciousness shifts into higher and higher vibrations, it moves to higher and higher timelines where the control structures that are based on fear, trickery, and abuse can no longer vibrationally stand. It's crucial to remain optimistic about things, both in regards to your individual journey and the collective journey. If one thing's for sure, it's that pessimism will not increase your chance of living the type of life you want to live individually or collectively. We really need to have that wide-eyed, childlike naivete of everything is possible, because in reality it is. You probably know by now that we live in an infinite multiverse, in a holographic projection, so to speak, and that nothing is as totally concrete and as real as it might seem on the surface. You know that miracles happen. You might have already experienced a few in your life. Use this supermoon time as a time to realign with that energy of believing in, embracing, and even experiencing and expecting the miraculous. Find ways to recognize the little miracles in your life day to day. Every synchronicity is a miracle. Every loving embrace, every ray of sunshine, and every laugh is a miracle. Be the one that recognizes the little miracles in every day, and let the other 99% of people stay in limbo, waiting to be liberated by their own minds. The choice is yours. In order to move into your higher vibration, you must overcome one of the shadow aspects of the Aquarian energy, which is self-sabotage. Transcending self-sabotage. The theme of overcoming self-sabotage is something that has been coming up a lot for lightworkers recently, and it will continue over the next 27 days. This is because we are in the process of clearing house of those patterns which are no longer supporting us and stepping fully into our individualized, divinely designed service roles, as we discussed in the previous section. What I've discovered about self-sabotage is this. The self-saboteur within is only active and with you to provide you a gateway into seeing your own shadow. The shadow is the aggregate of the unprocessed wounds within, whether from this lifetime or others. When you become aware of that part of you which has often sabotaged good things from manifesting through lower vibrational choices, fear, or avoidance, you then have the power to transcend that pattern. Of course, on another level, there are no such thing as bad choices, but also on another level, fear is there to protect you, and every choice made out of self-sabotage was only made to help you advance spiritually, whether you intended for that to be the case or not. But once you become aware of these patterns, there is no longer any need to carry them forward. It's as if you have discovered that you've been carrying a brick attached to your back, and once you recognize that, you can put the brick down and go about your life feeling lighter and like things can come more easily and with less struggle. Remember, you always have free will in every moment. It's just that the types of internal and external reactions that you have become accustomed to over and over again, and ultimately you inherited those patterns from those that raised you, keep you stuck in a feedback loop that is called a program. If you have a history of self-sabotaging yourself, that is part of your program. To stop the self-sabotage, you simply need to step out of the program and in to a new program. And that's something that ideally, if it's going to work, needs to be practiced over and over. Think this to yourself. What would the higher dimensional aspect of me choose, think, or say in this moment or situation? It's always an incredible question to ask whenever you're facing anything. The highest version of me, what would they say or do here? What would they think here? Another great question is, what types of words, choices, thoughts here would likely lead me to transcend my karma versus which words, choices, thoughts would likely keep me stuck in the same karmic loop? It's time to get all parts of you on board with your forward momentum. If there's any parts of you that feel stuck in the past, stuck in a lower vibrational timeline, or just stuck in general, ask those parts of you what they need from you. How can you serve them? What these parts are really looking for is safety. It can be scary to parts of you that have become scarred and injured over time to move forward into a new project, a new relationship, a new location, new career, a higher income, a new hobby, so on and so forth. The more you can make these parts of you feel safe, like a loving parent would for an anxious child, the easier it is for you to get fully integrated and feel more together than ever before. The self-saboteur also tends to show up when someone has an inclination to be less than forgiving with themselves. This lack of forgiveness toward oneself really hurts and injures the inner child, who already has been hurt by that parental figure who was less than forgiving with them or with the other parental figure. So it's not just if you grew up with harsh parents, but if they were harsh to each other, it will create those wounds in the inner child. Or even if your parental figure was harsh with his or herself, as when we're young, we can literally feel the vibrations of those that raised us. The shadow's job is to show itself in inconvenient ways in order to get you to recognize where the inner child has been hurt. If you are very harsh on yourself, you will tend to self-sabotage yourself as well. So learning to also be more forgiving with yourself is another important aspect of transcending self-sabotage. When you gift yourself with the freedom to make as many mistakes as you need to and love yourself just the same, the self-saboteur within will evaporate and never need to return. Virgo season coming. The sun enters Virgo on Thursday, August 22nd, initiating the final third of summer in the northern hemisphere. Virgo is an earth sign that is represented by the maiden. It is associated with Persephone in Greek mythology. Virgo is very much associated with the wheat crop, as the ancients thought that Virgo, the second largest constellation in the sky, appeared to be a woman with wings carrying a sheaf of wheat. In the final third of summer, Virgo season, it's historically been the time when the most crops are reaped. In order to reap the crops, it requires discipline, planning, and pragmatism. These are three qualities that the sign of Virgo models for the rest of the zodiac. Virgo means virgin in Latin. The sign of Virgo is also associated with purity and self-sufficiency. The Virgo glyph is an M with a tail that turns inward, representative of Virgo's ability to introspect and discern. It also may traditionally represent sexual shyness, as Scorpio, the most outwardly sexual of signs, has a glyph that is an M with a tail that is an outward pointing arrow representing a phallus. Virgo is a mutable sign in Western astrology because it comes at the end of a season. In many parts of the northern U.S., Canada, and Europe, the deciduous leaves change colors, or at least start to, during Virgo season. Virgo is the ruler of the sixth house in astrology, the house of health. This house is the realm of health, daily routines, and repetitive tasks, including those that are involved in work and career. During Virgo season, it's a great time to clean and organize our living spaces, to recommit to supportive daily rituals that improve our lives, and to readdress any health concerns or to recommit to improving our physical health in all ways. Wishing you a blessed and expansive supermoon in Aquarius and a happy Virgo season. With love, this is Matthew John. Please, before you go, I need a couple favors. If you haven't yet hit that like button right now. If you're not subscribed to the Higher Self channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to be notified whenever any of my new astrology podcasts or any of the other videos that are posted on this channel gets dropped. Hit that bell button. Go to the pinned comment below the description box. It has all of my links, okay? The link to my YouTube channel where I post 1 to 3 new videos every month, and also my website, my email, and the article version of this podcast. So I have some really exciting upcoming events and classes I want to tell you about. There's a lot, so stay tuned. First, we have the Spiritual Life Coaching Certification Program. This is the first time I've run this program, and it has been massively successful so far. I cannot believe how many people signed up, and enrollment is still open for this. It's a 6-week program, okay? The first 2 classes already took place. You can stream the 3.5-hour replays of each class, so 7 hours of instruction in total for the first 2, and you will learn about the basics of what you need to know to be an effective spiritual life coach like myself, and also the more advanced techniques to dig into a client's psyche and techniques to assist the client in healing themselves, which is the whole point. And you can look forward to later on in this course learning how to conduct EFT tapping sessions, medical intuitive readings, inner child healings, shamanic soul retrievals, looking into the Akashic records and psychic techniques, hypnosis techniques, regression techniques. I'm teaching all of this, yes, in this 6-week course. It's going to end up being about 20 hours of live instruction. It's all also recorded for you to stream. You get to download the notes after each class as well. So it's a great time to jump in. Our next class, we resume with class number 3 this coming Saturday, August 24th from 4 to 7 Eastern time, okay? And if you can't make the live call, you can still sign up, of course, and stream the recording, and you learn just as well. And it does come with a certification. If you complete the 6 classes, you will become a certified spiritual life coach, which is really exciting. And it's just $444. And if you sign up for Ascending as One first, for the VIP tier, you'll save 20% on that. It knocks it all the way down to $355. Go to the link in my in the pinned comment for my website. Click on the courses, events, and retreats page. You can read all about Ascending as One and jump in for either August or October if you'd like. And you can read all about the Spiritual Life Coaching Certification course as well. And you can sign up there. If you want to sign up with the discount, you need to email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com, or go to the More section, click on Contact Me, and contact me through there. So the Spiritual Life Coaching Program is going on. Ascending as One is going on. You can sign up for August and do the How to Do Trance Channeling call on August 31st. How cool is that? I'm going to teach you how to trance channel, just like me. I channel the Syrians monthly, and you'll also get to witness and be a part of and ask questions of the Syrians on that August 31st call as I channel them. But you're going to learn on your own. How cool is that? You will have all the tools you need after that call to be a trance channeler on your own. You don't need to go spend thousands on some other course out there. Ascending as One VIP is just $144 US, and there's discounts if you're in Australia, Canada, or New Zealand because the exchange rates. And you also get a private reading in September if you sign up for Ascending as One, as well as a 20% discount on the Spiritual Life Coaching course, the Tarot course, which I'll go over in a minute, and any of my retreats as well. The replays for August, you'll get the True Lionsgate activation, where I did a bonus Syrian channeling segment, healing your crown chakra and stepping into your highest purpose. The stepping into your highest purpose one was so perfect for this Aquarian full moon that we just talked about right now. You could also sign up for October Ascending as One instead. That's healing your masculine father wounds, ancient mysteries and Syrian channeling, refining your intuition, and Tarot 101. And I also have 3-month packages for both levels of Ascending as One. VIP includes all 4 of the live calls plus 3 free bonus courses per month, and the private reading with me as well. So if you sign up for 3 months VIP, you'll get 3 months of readings. You get 3 individual readings with me, plus the 12 live classes and the 9 recorded classes. And if you do Tier 2, you can get the 3 main live classes per month without the private reading. The Tarot course, my 2024-25 comprehensive tarot reading course, is coming up very soon. I have an early bird special for that you need to know about, okay? The early bird special expires on September 1st, so coming up soon. That is a 30% discount. A 30% discount off of the 2024-25 comprehensive tarot reading course if you sign up by September 1st. It is an epic course. If you are a beginner or intermediate, it is perfect for you. I've even had advanced students in the past. I've churned out a half dozen professionals. Literally, they took what they learned in my course and went on and created a professional, full-time tarot reading practice just for my course. That's why it's called the Comprehensive Tarot Reading Course. It's 15 3-hour-plus classes, so 45 hours of instruction minimum, and it'll probably end up being a bit more. And if you can't make the live classes, you can download the recordings or stream the recordings. You get to download all the notes. You get a free 45-minute practice session / private reading with me. There's ample time to practice doing readings on the classes as well. And we go into every nook, cranny, corner of the tarot. So teaching you everything you need to know to literally be a professional. And hey, if you don't want to be a professional, you just want to learn the tarot really, really, really well, do this course. It is by far the best tarot course on the internet. Nothing I've found out there has come close to this. 15 3-hour classes, begins November 2nd. It'll run all the way through the winter into the spring, and it'll end in May. So there's a lot of time between classes. It's very spread out, so there's a lot of time to integrate and get caught up if you miss classes. So if you're interested, I'm also happy to do a free phone consultation either for the spiritual life coaching course or the tarot reading course. So if you're interested in either, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. That's youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. Or on my website, go to the More section and click on the Contact Me button. I'm happy to do a free consultation to see if either of those courses would be right for you. Again, you can save 20% on the spiritual life coaching course if you sign up for Ascending as One first, and you can save 30% on the tarot course if you pay by September 1st. I also have some really exciting retreats coming up. We have our East Coast retreat at Light on the Hill in the southern tier of New York State, Van Nant, New York. Light on the Hill is one of the most magical places in the country. It's one of my favorite places in the country. You drive up the gravel road up to Light on the Hill, and it's literally like leaving the real world behind and going to another dimension. People get there, they instantly feel at peace, they turn their phones off, and we have the 236 acres that is Light on the Hill all to ourselves for 4 full days of spiritual awakening. You're going to get to watch me trans-channel in person, not just the Syrians, but the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Lyrans, the Blue Avians, whoever else wants to come through. We're going to be doing lots of sky watching. The sky there is so clear at night to watch for UFOs. We are going to do shamanic work out on the land. We're going to do inner child healing, past life healing. You're going to get a free massage as well. You're going to get a free yoga class. You're going to get a free sound healing. You're going to get a free face-to-face reading with me. The food is unbelievable. A lot of the cooks grow the food, the produce themselves, and put it in the food. It is the most energetically high vegan, vegetarian food that I can ever remember having at Light on the Hill. And it's all included. This is an all-inclusive retreat. You stay there at the Inner Light Lodge, really plush accommodations, and the price is really, really affordable. Okay, if you go to that course events and retreats page, you can check out the East Coast Retreat digital brochure. Remember, you save 20% on the retreat if you're an Ascending as One member. So it's not a bad idea to sign up for Ascending as One first and then purchase the retreat. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, again, the link is in the pinned comment, you can see a video previewing the retreat. If you're interested in coming, I would highly recommend watching that video so you can see what it's like and feel into the vibration of what Light on the Hill is like. I have people coming from all over the country, so if you're anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, even in Europe, it's super easy. You fly into SYR, that's Syracuse, New York. There's an airport shuttle to our group hotel, and then you get to ride with me or my assistant back, down and back to the retreat center and back to the hotel when the retreat is over. I will help you arrange all your travel. It's super convenient to come to the retreat no matter where you're flying in from. Last year as well, we had people flying in from all over the U.S. and Canada. So if you're not in the Northeast, don't worry. It's like perfectly normal to fly in and experience this, and it's totally worth it. I can almost guarantee you this will be the highlight of your summer. For me, last year was the highlight of my summer, and I am definitely anticipating it'll probably end up being the highlight of my summer, at least one of the highlights of my summer, as attending Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final was pretty darn cool as well. Although technically, I guess that was in the spring. No, that was summer. Yeah. Right after the summer solstice, that was. But anyway, it's going to be one of my highlights of the summer of 2024. I can't wait. So, and the weather in early September is really nice. Really pleasant. You can expect it to be in the 60s or 70s in the daytime, nighttime, 50s, 60s. So it's super comfortable. It's not too chilly, and it's definitely not going to be hot. It's really, really comfortable to come here in early September. It's way up in the mountains, so the views are spectacular. You can look all the way down through the valley, literally to the Pennsylvania border on a clear day. Watch that video on my YouTube channel. and you'll see how magical and how beautiful Light on the Hill really is. I'm also accepting deposits. We have early bird deadlines coming up for the Sedona retreat, okay? The Sedona retreat, which is January 29th through February 2nd, 2025. The deadline for that, for the early bird deposit with that, is coming up really soon. It is on September 1st. So make sure you go to my website if you're interested in the Sedona retreat. Click on the link that says View the Sedona Retreat Digital Brochure. Also, September 1st is the deadline to save 20% on the 2025 Peru retreat. That is May 24th through 31st. And we've just added an extension to that. Very exciting. We've just added an extension May 31st through June 2nd to Lake Titicaca. So it's not up on the website yet, but it will be soon. There is the option to extend your retreat to an 11-day retreat, also visiting Lake Titicaca. So the deadline, though, to put down deposits, $500 deposit for the Sedona retreat, and it's a $1,000 deposit for the 8 days or $1,250 for the 11 days for the Peru retreat. And you just need to put a deposit down by September 1st, and then it's fully refundable if for any reason your plans change. So if any reason your plans change and you're not going to be able to make it, it's a totally refundable deposit. You just have to let me know by a certain date. And you also will have to pay by a certain date to retain the early bird special, but it's very reasonable. It's about 60 days more or less before the beginnings of the retreats. So you can check out the digital brochures. Again, all the information for everything is on the course events or retreats page. And I am so happy to do free consultations, free phone, Zoom, WhatsApp, whatever, consultations for the spiritual life coaching course, the tarot reading course, even ascending is one. Or if you're interested in any of the retreats, the East Coast retreat, Sedona, or Peru, for anything at all, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. My email's in the pinned comment below. Or again, go to that contact me page on the more section of my website. Also, I do have full-length private sessions, and 2024 is close to being sold out. So I have just a few spots left for November and December for the full-length private sessions, soul plan readings, angel energy, healing, soul retrieval sessions, medical intuitive readings, starseed discovery sessions, past life regressions, future self progressions, and spiritual awakening coaching. Those are all available. I also do have a program, a spiritual mentoring, personal spiritual mentoring program, which is 6 or 12 sessions. And for that, you actually can get priority access to my schedule and get started as soon as September. But all the information for all that is on my website. And again, another option for getting one-on-one time with me is just sign up for Ascending as One VIP, and you get a 20-minute reading with me as soon as September. So all the information for everything is on my website, and if you have questions about anything, email me or go to that contact me page on my site. All right, everyone. I'm looking forward to speaking to you on the upcoming new moon in Virgo in a fortnight, as the Brits say. So until then, everyone, please remember to be kind to yourselves, to be kind to others, to be kind to animals, and to be kind to the earth. With love, this is Matthew John.